What is up, Knicks Nation, as your New York Knicks lose to the Indiana Pacers by a final score of 134 to 137. I appreciate every single one of you guys in the chat as we are just getting started over here at the Knicks Nation post-game show. Shout out to the members in here. Thank you for the support as always, man. I opened up the pod of the post game with this because it was a big. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this was a bad one. This was a bad loss at home in Madison Square Garden. Right? Let's call it like it is. Like it is. This one hurt. This one hurt. This was a bad loss. And yeah, I'm disappointed, guys. Like, I'm not fake mad, not hot take mad, just disappointed. Because the game was right there. You had multiple opportunities in the fourth quarter to win, to take the lead. A game of constant lead changes, literally the most lead changes in the NBA, in any NBA game this season. Any NBA game this season. And somehow we walk away empty-handed, guys. Look, winning is hard in this league, but we didn't help ourselves whatsoever in this basketball game. Defensively, the Knicks were pathetic. Pathetic in this game. Like, first of all, what happened to the defense? What happened to the defense? Where did it go? Because in the fourth quarter and in overtime and majority of this game, especially, look, Pacers were shooting lights out. I get it. We'll go through the box score. But it just vanished, man. No rhythm. No stops when you absolutely needed them. Right? And then I have to say it, guys. Look, Karl-Anthony Towns, man. Look, I know you, hell of a play to grab the offensive board and get fouled. Hell of a play. You get to 2 free throws. You knock them down. And then you're shushing the crowd. You're feeling it. You're talking your talk. And then you foul out. After that, right after that, you foul out. For the 5th time this season. 5th. Guys, we literally saw the best and worst of Cat within minutes. Like, you can't make it up, man. If you're gonna shush the crowd and do this and that, he was just trying to get the crowd hyped. But if you're gonna do that, then please don't foul out off of a stupid moving screen. Right? You're a beast on the boards, no question. You're amazing on the boards, no question. But a couple of hooks tonight, offensive fouls tonight. Man, and that play in regulation where Shamet got that great look. Towns crashes the glass. That's an amazing play. Once again, appreciate you guys in the chat. Look. Like Isaiah Huff. I got Isaiah Huff like egging you on, and it's just like that matchup should have been food for Karl-Anthony Towns, is what I'm saying to you. Like, if you're one of the best bigs in the NBA, that matchup should have been food. It shouldn't have even been like him winning the battle at all, right? And you still finish with a good, solid scoring output, right? But still, man, that look, the offense late 2 was trash. No flow, no rhythm, just vibes and prayers. the offensive ISO that we saw from the New York Knicks tonight. ISO. Fourth quarter and overtime were rough. And Jalen Brunson, I love you. You're the guy. But in the fourth, you try to be the hero, and I get it. That's who you are. You are the hero. But if your shot is continuously short, and bro, you missed every shot in that stretch. Why are we not moving the basketball? Why are we not moving the ball? You've got Mikal Bridges out there who literally did not miss in the fourth quarter. I thought Mikal played a great game, and he got shut out in the fourth, kind of in the final minutes. Why aren't we feeding the hot hand? Right? Now, credit to Jalen Brunson and one with 131, cut it to one. Big moment. Josh Hart, incredible basketball game. Energy, rebounding, triple-double for Josh Hart. Was guarding Siakam, right? And that's another thing. Like, Siakam, Josh Hart, I thought played him well, but Siakam's just too big for him. He's just too tall. He's going to shoot over him every single time. Like, I would have liked to saw Diawara up in there. But, hey, here we are, man. Your New York Knicks lose to the Indiana Pacers 137-134. And here is the box score, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a pretty box score. Your Pacers, man, in a year where they're supposed to be tanking, they came in to the Garden and beat the Knicks. And there's something about losing to the Indiana Pacers that hurts because, look, they knocked us out in the playoffs last year, and they're without their key guys, and they still were able to come into the Garden and drop 137 on the New York Knicks, right? So, man, I would have liked to see some Diawara on Siakam in the end. Josh Hart is just too small. He's a physical defender. He played an amazing game, but Diawara, like, he hit a three to open up the fourth quarter. Cat hits a three to open up the fourth quarter. You feel good in the fourth quarter, but man, Alvarado, I thought, was kind of nervous today. His first game as a New York Knick, he couldn't buy a bucket, but I love the hustle. But look, this was a bad loss, man. There's no way to put it. This was a bad loss. And it sucks because you're coming off a great win in Boston, and you figure you're winning 9 out of your last 10 games. You're like, oh, man, this team is playing well. I know we're hurt. No Mitchell Robinson today. No OG Anunoby. We got an update on OG Anunoby. He's not playing tomorrow. He's dealing with a toenail that has come off his foot, and that's a painful injury. And hopefully he'll be back after the All-Star break. But I don't know. So once again, shout out to you guys in the chat. Appreciate the members in here. El Figgy says, "Why was Jordan Clarkson out there for 13 minutes? Did we feel like this was a throwaway game to let him work it out?" Well, I guess coach didn't care. Yes, El Figgy. Jordan Clarkson today, 13 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 4, but defensively, he's a liability out there. And look, you didn't get much output off your bench. That's for sure. You didn't get any output off your bench. Alvarado couldn't buy a bucket. Jordan Clarkson, 13 minutes. Ariel Hukporti had a nice and one that Alvarado threw him a slip pass. 7 points, 5 boards. Okay game for Ariel Hukporti. Diawara, only attempted 2 shots, right? And one of them was a 3 to open up the fourth. But look, Brunson, 15 to 31, 4-14 from 3. Gave you 40 and 8, but still, like, if I'm looking at the box score, I'm looking at 40 and 8, and I'm like, I thought Jalen Brunson had a good game. But guys, I thought in that end of the fourth quarter, I know he even the shot that he had fading away to his right, like right behind the Knicks bench when Karl-Anthony Towns set the pick and the Pacers double team Jalen Brunson, Cat was open. I thought he should have passed it to Karl-Anthony Towns at the top of the 3-point line. Cat was open, and then Cat crashed the glass when he knew Brunson wasn't passing him the ball. And just a lot of Jalen Brunson shots there in the fourth quarter that I didn't like. Especially when Mikal Bridges, like, deserved. And I think Mikal Bridges deserved at least one of them. Like, at least one of them. Like, he didn't miss a shot in the fourth quarter, Mikal. I thought Mikal played a really good basketball game today. Really good basketball game. Hit some timely fadeaway tough shots tonight. 9 of 15, 22 points. Got banged up out there. Like, Mikal Bridges deserved a couple of those shots in the fourth quarter. But Jalen Brunson, I thought he held onto the ball a little bit. And, you know, he's our captain. In the chat, I see a lot of you saying he sold. Yeah, he did. I thought he should have passed it. You know, Cat gives you 22 and 14. The 5 turnovers is what kills you. The 6 personal fouls is what kills you. Again, the good and the bad of Karl-Anthony Towns we witnessed tonight. Frustrating because I'm sitting there rooting for him. He's crashing the boards in the fourth and at the last possession. I'm like, let's go, Cat. He's shushing the crowd. He's doing this to the crowd. He's trying to get the crowd up. I got Josh Hart looking at him like, bro. And then he fouls out on a moving screen, and I'm like, that's Cat. And then he's like laughing about it. It's super frustrating for me. It is. Josh Hart, I thought, played an amazing game, incredible game. Just too small. When Siakam hit a jump shot over him with 12 seconds left to put the Pacers up 3, Siakam has like 6 inches over Josh Hart. You know, 6 inches over Hart. And you lose at Madison Square Garden. And this was a tough one, guys. It was. Got the last game tomorrow until the NBA trading deadline, the All-Star break, excuse me. Joe says defense was shaky. Bench players were not present. Win tomorrow. Yep. Win tomorrow. Win tomorrow. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Smash the like button. Subscribe. All the good stuff if you haven't subscribed. Castro, I see all you guys in here. Mac Jean, El Figgy, BGK, Rookie. Shots not falling. A Cat is out. And they buried Clarkson on the bench. Like I said, guys, I'm disappointed in tonight because this was the defensive Knicks team that we saw during the losing streak, right? And look, anytime the Pacers were open, they made the Knicks pay. They shot 40% from 3, 18 of 45. Anytime they were open, it felt like they were hitting daggers. Nembhard played amazing for them. Quentin Jackson, 4-6 from 3, of course. Jay Huff, I got hitting a 3 and actually playing physical for them. McConnell, I thought in the third quarter, midi after midi after midi was kind of attacking Alvarado a little bit, right? Siakam with the missed free throws. And the Knicks almost won at the end, believe it or not. Siakam missed 5 free throws. Look, the Pacers played a great game. And they're one of the worst teams in the East, and that's what makes it suck. The Knicks were double-digit favorites in this basketball game. These are the games that you have to win. I'm sorry. These are the games that you have to win. You cannot lose these games, right? With the way the East is set up right now currently, Cleveland winning, Boston's on your ass. You probably drop on Boston. I have to look at the scores if they even play today. It is so tight in the Eastern Conference that you have to win these games at home against teams that stink. And look, the Pacers have been playing better. They just beat OKC. In OKC, they've been playing better. They've been losing close games, right? They've been losing close games. They've been playing really good. Credit to them. They didn't give up. They are 3-22 on the road this year. 4-22. You have to win these games in Madison Square Garden. Like, you have to. Loud and Clear says defense was abysmal tonight. Abysmal. Bruh. Abysmal. Jose says at least Cat hit clutch free throws. Big moment. I was nervous that he was going to miss those, but he made them. But then you can't come out and have a moving screen. Man. Joel says, because we can't lock them up for Ish. Silly loss. Just got to brush it off. Yeah. It's frustrating. It's a bad loss, guys. El Figure says we played unseriously all night, thinking we could go on a late run, and it bit us in the ass. The thing about this game was, the lesson here is to never bet on the Knicks. You knew this was going to be a battle when the Pacers were hanging around. The Knicks never went on a run. They never sustained a rhythm. They would always allow the Pacers to get back in the game or to take the lead. Again, the most NBA lead changes in a game was tonight. Lead change after lead change after lead change. And you're sitting there like, I really don't know who's going to win this game. This is going to take, defensively, the Knicks to play like they have been, and they didn't. They didn't. And I was really disappointed in Jalen Brunson in the final couple of minutes of the fourth quarter, because I think that's where you lost the game. Look, I know Brunson hits the 3 in overtime, and he should have got fouled. He should have went to the free throw line, right? They didn't call it, so I can't talk about that. I can only talk about what happened. End of the fourth quarter, that's where the Knicks lost the game. Mikal Bridges, in that fourth quarter, where's my phone? I don't have my phone. I believe he was like 4-4 from the field or 3-3 from the field. He was unbelievable. He hit every shot, right? Every shot. And you knew Mike Brown realized that when I believe it was in overtime and Mikal wasn't involved at all. Out of the timeout, the play was ran for Mikal. And it's like, okay, a little too late. Little too late. But it's like you can't. I could point the finger at Brunson because I know he's going to point the finger at himself, right? He gave you 40 and 8, but in the end of the fourth, that's where it kind of, the offense just wasn't where it needed to be, right? And look, Cat's 3-point shot. Again, I said it on the podcast. I said, anytime it's going up, I don't have that same confidence that I used to have. Like, oh, it's going up, it's going in. Now it's going up, and I'm automatically expecting it not to go in. And he's 1 of 6 tonight. He's shooting 35% from 3 on the year. Not a good shooting year for him, right? And look, the guys played a lot of minutes. They have a back-to-back tomorrow. Mitchell Robinson will probably come back tomorrow. OG Anunoby is probably going to be out until after the All-Star break. And hopefully we can come out tomorrow and get this game out of our mouths, because I don't want to go into the All-Star break losing 2 straight. I don't. So, man, once again, shout out to the chat. Shout out to every single one of you guys in the chat, man. This was a tough loss for the New York Knicks as they lose 134-137 to the Indiana Pacers. Waiting on some comments from the Knicks, Mike Brown and everything. I'm sure we're going to get those comments shortly. You guys can hit the Discord if you guys want to call into the show. The link is pinned up in the chat. It is super easy to join. Hit the Discord, post-game call-in. And yeah. Joseph says, I think we need a big man from the buyout market. I think so too. Like, I like Hook Porty, but let's be honest. He's been kind of disappointing this year. Like, he's been kind of disappointing. I was expecting more. I was expecting a little bit of a leap from him, but he's just been like wavering. Like, he's been okay. He's been fine. He's been fine. He hasn't been like this. He hasn't impressed me. Right? So, look, Alvarado couldn't find the range tonight. And it was an awesome moment when he first came in, poking the ball away from Siakam. Crowd's involved. You see his brother, his parents in the crowd. And look, you had chances, man. You had multiple chances. And look, games like tonight, you remember. Like the Pacers, they're on the bottom of the East. That's what makes it frustrating. It's like, I just beat Boston going away. Like, amazing. One of the Knicks' best basketball game from start to finish. 48-minute great game from the New York Knickerbockers. I'm feeling good. Alvarado looks great. I'm like, okay, we got the Pacers at home. That should be a win. And no, it wasn't. That's why I'm like, okay, I don't want to get back into this hot and cold mess with the Knicks, man. I don't. Because in January, this is what the defense looked like, guys. CJ says the bench got murdered, 42-18. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Jay Huff, I thought played a really good game from them. McConnell, he got crossed over too from Brunson. I wanted Brunson to hit that shot too. You saw him laughing about it too. McConnell, midi murder, midi assassin. Kobe Bryant, everyone that came in, they made an impact for them. Everyone. And obviously, Siakam's an all-star. He's going to get his. Nembhard is a tremendous basketball player. Naismith, underrated. Naismith was their Josh Hart. Naismith was grabbing every second chance basketball. How many offensive rebounds did he finish with today? Naismith. Only 2. It felt like 5. This game sucked, guys. Sucked. Darian says, did Brunson forget that he has teammates? Oof. Yeah, Darian. It's one of those brutal back-to-back possessions from Brunson, and those shots were short, right? Those shots were, look, you can live with those shots because he's freaking Jalen Brunson. He's incredible. And if one of those shots goes in, we win the game, in my opinion. But, you know, I just thought offensively the Knicks got out of their plan. Feed the hot hand. Mikal Bridges was really, really playing really well for them. And as much as we get on Mikal Bridges, I thought tonight he played a really good basketball game from them, because there were times when the Knicks couldn't buy a bucket and Mikal would hit a really tough, like, mid-range fadeaway shot. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Mikal. Like, we got a couple of those shots tonight from Mikal, and I just wish he got rewarded in that fourth quarter. But, you know, he didn't. So, super frustrating game, guys. It's not the end of the world. But if I take a look at the Eastern Conference right now, the Pacers, 3 games went on tonight, right? We were the only show in the East. Dallas, Phoenix, Spurs, Lakers, Knicks, Pacers, Clippers, Houston. We were the only show in the Eastern Conference tonight. And now the Boston Celtics are ahead of you. You've played one more game than them. They are a half game ahead of you. And now we have to worry about Cleveland. Cleveland has all of a sudden won 4 straight games. They have James Harden giving them a spark. Winning games for them. They are one. Look at this, guys. This is what I'm worried about. This is the only thing I'm worried about. 3rd, 4th, 5th are separated by 2, like 6, 7, 8, 9.5. The Raptors are 2 games behind the Knicks. Cleveland's a game behind the Knicks. And guess what? We have Detroit next, well, I keep calling it the freaking trading deadline, the All-Star break. The 76ers, who we play tomorrow, guys, if we lose that game, the Sixers are all of a sudden 2 games behind you. Right? You want to be careful here. This is why this game was needed. Like, you got to win these games. You have to win these basketball games at home against these teams that the Pacers are the last team in the East. I know they play good. I know they're playing better. But did they overlook them? I don't know. Maybe. But come on. 14-40? 14-40? They come into MSG. And look, they're already confident. They beat us in the Eastern Conference Finals. I got Halliburton smiling on the bench. I got Obi Toppin smiling on a bench. Like, I don't like that shit, bro. I don't like that stuff. Is it just me? Like, that stuff upsets me. Look, there's 82 games. There's 82 games. It's a long season. You got to win tonight. You got to. This was a game you had to win. Jose says that's why every game is important. Dis Rover, what's going on? Says same with Cat, but Cat has terrible efficiency this season. Terrible. Bad. Dis Rover says Mikal getting iced out has been happening since Thibs. Jackson and TJ points did us in from Jose. Joel says, what's going on, Joel? 34-20 as our record wasn't what I expected before the All-Star break. Still a pretty solid record. Chris Gotti, what's going on? CJ 920, what's going on? What's going on, chat, man? Mac Jean, what's going on? Source, what's going on? Loud and clear. Aunt Boogie says no Kolek in the past few games is unacceptable. Our offense stalled when Brunson was on the bench. They're trying to implement Alvarado in. They're trying to. Alvarado's more of a pest defensively than Kolek, but I thought Alvarado didn't really have it offensively. He missed a couple of wide open threes tonight. And let's be honest, that's going to be the struggle. But I think Alvarado's always going to have the edge over Kolek. I think. Because I think he's the better player. But I think Mike Brown is going to struggle with that. And I think, there's going to be times when we see Kolek. There's going to be times when we see more Alvarado. El Figgy says you can't just throw these players out there when nothing's falling and tell them to put up stops. What the hell was the plan? I'm tired of trading buckets with mediocre teams. El Figgy, yeah, mediocre. They're bad. Look, I know they have a lot of talent on their team, but they're 14-40. Like, they're not trying. Zubac could be playing, who they just traded for. They're not trying to win. But they do play hard. But they're trying to get the number one pick so they can reload next year and go for it with a top 3 pick and Halliburton coming back and Zubac. That's what they're trying to do. It's a hell of a plan, right? It's a hell of a plan. Take a gap year, come back strong. Let's put pressure on the Knicks this year, right? You gotta do it. You gotta get it done. But no way you should be losing to them. You have 20 more wins than them, guys. You have double the win total over the Pacers at home, Madison Square Garden. A place where you've been playing really well. That's what makes this game so disappointing. And let's be honest, the game after the Cup, I know the travel was unfair to the New York Knicks, but it took a Jalen Brunson hero shot to win that game. Right? I know no Cat in that game. So, look, Pacers got a number, I guess. So, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to you guys. Once again, Knicks lose 134-137. Just not what you want. Like Joe Girardi once said, not what you want. It's not what you want, man. Castro says these guys need to stop being friendly, especially to the Pacers. Source says the milk dud has spoken. We're getting some comments. Jaden says it seems whenever OG isn't playing, our defense is a step worse. We need him in order to be consistent defensively. Consistent defensively is a thing, Jaden, because we were really good against Boston defensively. Now, if you're a Boston Celtic fan, you can be like, whoa, hold up. We missed a lot of open threes. And this is the product of those threes going in. Boston did miss a lot of open threes in that game, right? But defensively, the Knicks were better in that game. The Pacers played really good. They hit their open shots and they made them pay. They made them pay. If you were leaving the Pacers open, they were going to make you pay. It just didn't sit right with me. Like, I know if we look at the box score, like the whole cat stuff is what's frustrating me. It's like, I don't know what we're going to get. I don't. He makes that great play. He should be dominating. Yes, he's getting hacked, but the threes are concerning to me now because I don't really know what the problem is, because all 10 years in his career, he's been a really elite three-point shooter, and now all of a sudden he's not. So is something off? Does he have to like recalibrate something? But I thought he was like offensively at like 22 and 14. I thought he was fine. It's just the 5 turnovers and the fouls, man. 5 turnovers and the fouls. Right? Like Jay Huff. Come on, bro. Jay Huff. Chris Gotti says Pacers were on fire from 3 early on. Yes, they were. 18 of 45 from 3, the Indiana Pacers. 18 and 45. 40%. 40%. OG got to ditch those Skechers and get some steel toe boots. Yes. The injury on OG and Obi, I had to look it up. I forgot what they called it, but it's literally, I believe it's his toenail that has come off his foot, which is kind of disgusting. But I don't think he's playing tomorrow. Like, why do that? Like, let him rest for another week. And if we come back after the All-Star break and he's still not playing, then I can kind of ring the alarm bell, because then I'm like, okay, what's really happening here? But yeah, Disrover, toe avulsion. That's the correct term. I'll put it up in the chat. Toe avulsion. The Knicks said his injury. Normally they don't do that. Normally they're very vague, but the Knicks said his injury, so that's telling me that's good news. Like, that's nothing serious. If they're letting us know, like, okay, this is what it is, then I don't think it's anything too significant. So just, we got to get him back. No Mitch, but still, man, you have enough talent on the court to beat the Indiana Pacers again. And again, the loss is one thing, guys, but my focus right now is like the standings, because, guys, there is a world where the New York Knicks can fall to the 5th seed. Like, there is a world where that can happen. If they continue losing games like they did tonight to the Indiana Pacers, which I don't foresee, I don't hope. But when you look at the East and how tight this race is, and again, it's February 10th. The Knicks can reel off like 10 straight wins and be okay. But it was kind of like eye-opening when we won 8 straight and still we haven't really separated ourselves from these teams in the East. Right? Because let's face it, the NBA has some really bad teams. They have some tanking teams in the league. Right? Wizards tanking. Utah. Like, so the teams in the East, they're going to stack up some wins, is what I'm saying. Like, well, who does Boston play? Bulls. Boston plays Chicago tomorrow at home. Boston plays Chicago tomorrow. Cleveland plays the Wizards tomorrow at home. So Boston plays Chicago tomorrow. Cleveland plays Washington tomorrow. So, and you play Philadelphia tomorrow on a back-to-back. So, hey now, let's win. Let's win, because I don't want to be talking about a 4th seed Knicks team going into the All-Star break. You know? Chris Gotti says OG needs some Jock the Strolls. Oh man, let's see if anyone has spoken, man. I'm kind of upset, kind of disappointed in this one, but hey, it happens, right? And the adjustments tonight from Mike Brown, I thought were bad. I thought the adjustments from Mike Brown tonight were bad. Because Siakam, he should have made a switch on who defends Siakam. Because I would have loved to see Diawara a little bit more on Siakam because of the length. Siakam was just shooting over everybody. And look, he's an all-star. He's going to get his points, but I would have loved to see some, doubles at Siakam, some other guys at Siakam, and we didn't see that tonight. So I thought that was bad on Mike Brown's part, the coaching. Like I got on everyone else, but the adjustments I thought weren't there tonight. If you want to kind of nitpick into the playoffs, I want to see how Mike Brown adjusts in certain situations, and I'm sure he will. Knicks have been fine. They've been fine, but a hiccup like tonight brought me back to January. Early January, mid-January. And yeah. This Rover says Mo gave up 12 points of Siakam's 30. He was terrible tonight. Mo had one of these rookie games tonight. I like how he came out in the 4th hitting the 3. But I just didn't like the 12 seconds left when Siakam just shot it over Josh Hart. And I know Josh Hart played a phenomenal basketball game. But I don't know. I just would have liked someone else on him in that situation. Or a double. Get the ball out of his hands. They didn't do that. So I'm trying to see if we got some quotes for you guys. Once again, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Knicks Nation. Always appreciate the support. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some quotes.
I think it's a combination of both. Again, first of all, you got to give Indiana credit. They played hard. They played hard offensively. They played, they like to play fast. And so one of our big things was, hey, we got to make sure that we limit transition. And our guys did an okay job of that. They got free a couple of times in transition, but to have them score 9 points in transition, that's pretty good. In the front court, they played fast. They got in and out of their pick and rolls, and because they played fast, we weren't able to be as physical with them. And when they were going to set screens, and they're slipping out, so now it causes.
I can't even hear them. This is terrible audio. Let's go to our captain, Jalen Brunson. What happened, Jalen?
Pacers and the Knicks, when they play each other, it just can't be a regular game. This felt like a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what the record is, I mean, they're great. Great coach. They do everything well. They play hard. They play to the last second. So those qualities that they have, they're going to play every single night, regardless of what the record is.
The Pacers and the Knicks, when they play each other, it just can't be.
Jalen Brunson, no excuses as always.
The first couple minutes, we started playing well, but then we let them get a little comfortable. And then down the stretch, lack of execution. We got to make sure at the end of the game, fourth quarter overtime is a little bit different. We can't just run fast, but we got to be able to slow it down and execute and call plays and get guys in good situations and areas to be successful. I feel like that's what we're kind of lacking.
We left them get a little comfortable, and then down the stretch, a lack of execution. That is from Josh Hartz. He's right. Lack of execution. And that's why offensively the Knicks were really just not moving the basketball in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they just took a massive step back. And look, the Pacers did hit what? Like they were on fire. Like they came into the Garden on fire. You just got to tip your cap and credit to the Indiana Pacers because they came into the Garden and absolutely annihilated the New York Knicks, right? So and here we have it. If you look at our schedule, we have they don't really have, without Mitchell Robinson and OG Anunoby, they're very thin on who they have to defend Pascal Siakam. You could throw Bridges at him, who I thought actually defensively played like good tonight on the switches that Mikal Bridges were doing tonight, but Bridges is too skinny and too small for Siakam. Siakam's good. Siakam's really good, right? Siakam, even OG Anunoby on Siakam, like Siakam, we've seen Siakam win that matchup. Like we've seen, like, guys, they just beat us in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like we had OG Anunoby on Siakam, and he would still get his points. Like this was a team collapse defensively, right? And no Mitch, no OG, obviously, but no excuse, guys. The Pacers, their record is terrible, you know. And look, you can't. I guess Jalen Brunson said you can't really look at that, I guess, but you still should have won the game, you know. So at Philly, last game before the All-Star break, then you pretty much have a week off, and then Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns go to All-Star festivities, and those are the only two Knicks that are doing that. I'm sure everyone else will probably take a nice vacation. And then out of the All-Star break, you get the Detroit Pistons. That is the first game out of the All-Star break, February 19th, Thursday, 7:30, prime. Detroit, Houston, out of the All-Star break. This is exactly why these games matter. These games are important because, guys, you don't want to keep falling back in the East. You're third in the East now. The teams next to you keep winning. Cleveland, Boston. So you need to beat these teams at home in the Garden. You do. So what you didn't, you just have to come out tomorrow and win, right? You don't want to have a repeat of what happened tonight. You don't. And we get Mitch back tomorrow. We beat Philly 2 weeks ago in Philly. That kind of propelled us, right? But Philly's a tough team. Philly's a good team. Philly would probably be one of these teams that we play in the first round or second round, right? So we'll see how they come out tomorrow. That's all I can say. That's all we can say. I just hope that they come out tomorrow with aggression, with anger. Be angry that you lost today. Too comfortable. Too comfortable. D-Dot says, our defense looks atrocious without OG out there. It doesn't matter who you play. If your two best defenders are out, it's a struggle. I would have liked Jose to give McConnell a harder time. Yes, Jose was getting cooked a little bit in that, especially in the quarter where McConnell, was it the third, where McConnell kept going after him? I don't know. We got Say Quizzy. I think it was a third. All right, let's get to the Discord calls. We got Say Quizzy in the Discord. What's going on, Say Quizzy? How are you?
You hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. What's going on, man? Tough loss.
Bad L. This is the games you want to win, knowing we're missing OG, Mitch Robinson. So you was hopefully, and we got a back-to-back, so you was hoping the Knicks would just wake up and just make sure this game is over with. But
yeah,
I thought they got too comfortable. I thought they didn't really play defense. I thought they just looked at Pacers' record and was like, okay, we home, we going to take care of business, but the defense wasn't there. Like, I seen Like this might be Brunson worst defense because I feel like he helped out a lot
Mm-hmm.
and his man cut every time. Knowing we don't got no Mitchell Robinson, really nobody to help in the paint. So the defense was terrible, but we have to find a way to get Cat going. These offensive fouls is killing me.
Right? It's so frustrating, man. It's
Like
like,
we got to make plays where he don't have to dribble the ball. Like even like yeah, this game was bad, but I'm just looking in the future because right now I feel like these offensive fouls, like he haven't have a really dominant game, and the time he had a dominant game was against Miami in the play-in tournament, but he was making his threes.
that's the thing.
So we got to find a way for him to make his threes because every time he's on top of the key, he's driving, he's hooking people. And like three or four of his fouls be that. So if he's in foul trouble because he's trying to score, but he keep doing offensive fouls, he's never going to get in rhythm. So I don't know what the Knicks got to do. We got to find a way to get him in the post where he don't have to run because it's not looking good, especially with like when he does it on like the wings, like a Tobias Harris. You're not going to get away with that all the time. Like certain big men, yeah. Like I thought today he should have got away with that and dominated, but he let somebody named Huff Puff and just hooked them every time. I don't
Oh,
even know the
bro.
god name,
Yo,
but
that's what I'm saying, bro. Huff Puff, bro. You got to dominate. You
that's
have,
what I was hoping. I'm like, bro,
you got to
like
dominate,
certain
man.
big man, you ain't gonna get away with that. So like, this is the big man that you could get away and dominate.
Yeah.
But the lockdowns, you might have to switch it up. But this one, I thought you should have dominated. But Mikal should have had more plays.
Yep.
Mike Brown,
Yep.
that's on you. Because when Mikal is not aggressive, I'd be like, bro, I wish he was more aggressive. This time, they just didn't look for him. I feel like he was making all the mid range. Like, why we didn't keep going to that? The
Yeah.
Pacers kept going to Siakam in the post,
Yep.
but we just went away with it. And like Brunson, he should have passed. After I think like 3 shots he missed. Okay, let's change it up. Let's do like two or three plays for Mikal. I feel like when it was like 2 minutes in the fourth, it was too much Brunson. And it's like everybody knew that. Especially after you missed like 3 shots, we should have switched it up and did a play for Mikal, somebody else. But it is what it is. Hopefully they just learn from this. But I'm gonna be in Philly tomorrow, and I'm praying because right now I know they're tired.
Oh, you going to the game?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the
Let's
building. Hopefully they have some energy. Cause
go.
and I don't know. Philly might gonna want their revenge last time we beat them. So hopefully they energy come back and they get this dub. But that's all I really got to say.
Say Quizzy, hell of a call. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Hopefully they can come out with a victory. Hell of a call. Say Quizzy, Huff Puff in the chat. Puffy. Literally, Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff. Huff Puff. Puffy Puff. Puff Puff. Dominate, bro. I don't honestly dominate. I know he's been playing okay for them, but you're Karl Anthony Towns. I don't need you hooking him. I don't need you going downhill. And he made a good point. It's the Knicks have to get him in scenarios where he's not going downhill, driving, and doing these stupid offensive fouls. And it's honestly his missing of his threes that are killing him. He's just not confident in his shot. He took a heat check after he hit his 3 today. He took another one that was like 5 feet behind the 3-point line as a heat check, which I didn't like. But he's not confident in his shot. I don't understand it. I don't. Power puff. Cat, man, you got to dominate. Tomorrow, go out there and win. Let's get this taste out of our mouths. And look, they've lost 2 out of the last 3 games, right? Lost in Detroit, lost today, with the great win mixed in there versus Boston. You don't want to lose 3 out of 4 heading into the All-Star break. And all of a sudden, Cleveland jumps you, yeah, game and a half behind Boston, and you're sitting there like, not really feeling, and with Detroit staring at you as a first game, not knowing the OG Anunoby thing, like you want to be careful here, and I think they'll be okay. Yeah, great call. Great call. Nostalgic, what's going on? Appreciate you in the chat, Nostalgic. But yeah, guys, tomorrow, go out there and win. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and let's do this, man. Frustrating loss, but it is what it is. It happens. It's the NBA, I guess. But hopefully the guys come out tomorrow with more aggression and win, please, against the Philadelphia 76ers. They travel, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just hope it doesn't fall. Like, I hope we don't deal with what we just dealt with in January again. I don't. But, yeah. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, thank you for the support. As always, thanks to the members in here. As always, shout out to you guys as well. Make sure you guys follow the Instagram at Knicks Nation, on X at Knicks Nation as well. We'll be back tomorrow after the game. This is the place to be. Make sure you guys check out the podcast. Chris and I are doing that more consistently, I promise. Shout out to you guys in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the support, as always. It's always Let's Go Knicks. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Got to get a win. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Peace.
Brunson a three. Down! Jalen Brunson does it again!